Wild Geese, 1934, Nectar Cashpaw. On Friday mornings, I go down to the sloughs with my brother Eli and wait for the birds to land. We have built ourselves a little blind. Eli has second sense and an aim I cannot match, but he is shy and doesn't like to talk. In this way, it is a good partnership because I got sent to school. I am the one who always walks into town and sells what we shoot. I get the price from the sisters who cook for the priests, and then I come home and split the money in half. Eli usually takes his bottle off into the woods while I go into town to the fiddle dance and spark the girls. So there is a Friday near sundown, the summer I am out of school, that finds me walking up the hill with these two geese slung from either wrist, tied with leather bands. Just to set the record clear, I am a good-looking boy, tall and slim, without a belly hanging in the way. I can have the pick of girls, is what I'm saying. But that doesn't matter anyhow, because I've already decided that Lulu Nanapush is the one. She's the only one of them I want. I am thinking of her while I walk, those damn eyes of hers, sharp as ice picks, and the curl of her lips. Her figure is round and plush, yet just at the edge of slim. She is small, yet she will never be an armful or an eyeful, because I'll never get a bead on her. I know that even now. She never stops moving long enough for me to see her all in a piece. I catch the gleam of her hair, the flash of her arm, a slight turn of hip. Then she is gone. I think of her little wet tongue, and I have to stop then and there in my tracks at the taste that floods into my mouth. She is a tart berry full of juice, and I know she is mine. I cannot wait for the night to start. She'll be waiting in the bush. Because I am standing there, lost on the empty road, half drowned in the charms of Lulu, I never see Marie Lazar barrel down. In fact, I never even hear her until it is too late. She comes straight down like a wagon unbraked, like a damn train. Her eye is on me, glaring under a stained strip of sheet. Her hand is wound tight in a pillowcase, like a boxer's fist. Whoa, I say, slow down, girl. Move aside, she says. She tries to pass. Out of reflex, I grab her arm, and then I see the initialed pillowcase. SHC is written out on it in letters red as wine. Sacred Heart Convent. What is she doing on her? What is it doing on her arm? They say I'm smart as a whip around here, but this time I'm too smart for my own good. Maria Lazar is the youngest daughter of a family of horse thieving drunks. Stealing sacred linen fits what I know of that blood, so I assume she's running off with the sister's pillowcase and other valuables. Who knows? I think a chalice might be hidden underneath her skirt. It occurs to me next moment, I may get a money bonus if I bring her back. And so, because I'm saving for the French-style wedding band I intend to put on the finger of Lulu Nanapush, I do not let Marie Lazar go down the hill. Not that holding onto her is easy. Let me go, you damn Indian, she hisses. Her teeth are strong-looking, large and white. You stink to hell. I have to laugh. She's just a skinny white girl from a family so low you cannot even think they are in the same class as Cashpaws. I shake her arm. The dead geese tied to my wrist swing against her hip. I never move her. She's planted solid as a tree. She begins to struggle to get loose, and I look up the hill. No one is coming from that direction or down the road, so I let her try. I'm playing with her. She kicks me with her hard sole shoe. Little girl, I growl, don't play with fire. Maybe I shouldn't do this, but I twist her arm and screw it up tight. Then I am ashamed of myself because tears come suddenly from her eyes and hang bitter and gleaming from her lashes. So I let up for a moment. She moves away from me, but it is just to take aim. Her brown eyes glaze over like a wounded minx, hurt but still fighting vicious. She launches herself forward and rams her knee in my stomach. I lose my balance and pitch over. The geese pull me down. Somehow, in falling, I grip the puff sleeve of her blouse and tear it from her shoulder. There I am, on the ground, sprawled and burdened by the geese, clutching that sky-colored bit of cloth. I think at first she will do me more damage with her shoes, but she just stands glaring down on me, rail tough and pale as birch, her face loose and raging beneath the white cloth. I think that now the tears will spurt out. She will sob, but Marie is the kind of tree that doubles back and springs up, whips singing. She bends over lightly and snatches the sleeve from my grip. Lay there, you ugly son of a bitch, she says. I never answer, never say one word, just surge forward, knock her over, and roll on top of her and hold her pinned down underneath my whole length. Now we'll talk, skinny white girl, dirty Lazar, I yell in her face. The geese are to my advantage now. Their weight on my arms help pin her. Their dead wings flap around us. Their necks loll and their black eyes stare, frozen. But Marie is not the kind of girl to act frightened of a few dead geese. She stares into my eyes, furious and silent, her lips clenched white. Just give me that pillowcase, I say, and I'll let you go. I'm going to bring that cloth back to the nuns. She burns up at me with such fierceness then, and I think she hasn't understood what a little thing I'm asking. Her eyes are tense and wild, animal eyes. Her neck chills. There now, I say in a more reasonable voice. Quit clutching it and I'll let you up and go. You shouldn't have stole it. Stole it, she spits. Stole. Her mouth drops wide open. If I want, I could look all the way down her throat. Then she makes an odd raspfile noise, cawing like a crow. She's laughing. It's too much. The Lazar is laughing in my face. Stop that. I put my hand across her mouth. Her slick white teeth click, harmless against my palm, but I am not satisfied. Let me up, she mumbles. No, I said. She lays still, then goes stiller. I look into her eyes and see the hard tears have frozen in the corners. She moves her legs. I keep her down. Something happens. The bones of her hips lock to either side of my hips, and I am held in a light vice. I stiffen like I'm shocked. It hits me then that I'm lying full length across a woman, not a girl. Her breasts graze my chest, soft and pointed. I cannot help but lower myself the slightest bit to feel them better. And then I'm caught. I give way. I cannot help myself because, to my everlasting wonder, Marie is all tight, plush acceptance, graceful movements, little jabs that lead me underneath her skirt where she is slick, warm, silk. I touch her with one hand, and in that one touch, I lose myself. When I come back and when I look down on her, I know how badly I've been weakened. Her tongue flattens against my palm. I know that when I take my hand away, the girl will smile because somehow I have been beaten at what I started on this hill. And sure enough, when I take my hand away, she growls. I've had better. I know that isn't true because we haven't done anything yet. She just doesn't know what comes next. I can hear the shake in her voice, but that makes no difference. She still scares me. I scramble away from her, holding the geese in front. Although she's just a little girl knocked down in the dirt, she sits up, smooth as you please, fixes the black skirt over her knees, rearranges the pillowcase tied around her hand. We are unsheltered by bushes. Anyone could have seen us. I glance around. On the hill, the windows dark in the whitewashed brick seem to harbor 1,000 holy eyes widening and narrowing. How could I? It is then I panic, mouth hanging open, all but certain. They saw. I can hardly believe what I have done. Marie is watching me. She sees me swing blind to the white face of the convent. She knows exactly what is going through my mind. I hope they saw it, she says in the crow's rasp. I shut my mouth, then open it, then shut my mouth again. Who is this girl? I feel my breath failing like a stupid fish in the airless space around her. I lose control. I never did, I shout, breaking my voice. I whirl to her. She's looking at the geese I hold in front to hide my shame. I speak wildly. You made me. You forced me. I made you. She laughs and shakes her hand, letting the pillowcase drop clear so that I can see the ugly wound. I didn't make you do anything, she says. Her hand looks bad, cut and swollen, and it has not been washed. Even afraid as I am, I cannot help but feel how bad her hand must hurt and throb. Thinking this causes a small pain to shoot through my own hand. The girl's hand must have hurt when I threw her on the ground, and yet she didn't cry out. Her head, too. I have to wonder what is under the bandage. Did the nuns catch her and beat her when she tried to steal their linen? The dead birds feel impossibly heavy. I untie them from my wrists and let them fall in the dirt. I sit down beside her. You can take these birds home. You can roast them, I say. I am giving them to you. Her mouth twists. She tosses her head and looks away. I'm not ashamed, but there are sometimes this happens alone in the woods, checking the trap line. I find a wounded animal that hasn't died well, or worse, it's still living, so that I have to put it out of its misery. Sometimes it's just a big bird I only winged. When I do what I have to do, my throat swells closed sometimes. I touch the suffering bodies like they were killed saints I should handle with gentle reverence. This is how I take Marie's hand. This is how I hold her wounded hand in my hand. She never looks at me. I don't think she dares let me see her face. We sit alone. The sun falls down the side of the world and the hill goes dark. Her hand grows thick and fevered, heavy in my own. And I don't want her, but I want her. And I cannot let go.